Sairam everyone and welcome to our political science class. Children, we will be continuing with our lesson, that is, what is democracy and why democracy? In the last class, we saw arguments that were against democracy. We found that it is not a magical solution. Democracy is not a magical solution for all the problems faced by the citizen, right? Now, a big question. Is democracy better than other forms of government? So, to find answer to this question, let's see some arguments for democracy. So let's go back to China. I'm going to take you back to China again. My dear children, China got independence after India, that is in 1949. And India got freedom in the year 1947. Now, in the year 1958 to 1961, China was hit by famine. It was the worst in the world history. This famine that hit China was worst in the world history. Nearly 3 crores people, they lost their life. Chinese people, I'm talking about the people of China. Okay, 3 crore people of China, they lost their life because of this famine. Now, let us compare the economic condition of India and China. Okay? During those days, India's economic condition was not that much better, okay, as compared to that of China. China has to face economic crisis because of this famine. But there was no such a massive famine in India like that of China. But India was also facing economic crisis. Okay, India was facing economic crisis, but it was not that worst like China. Okay, so many economists, they believed that the poor economic condition of both the countries, India and China, was because of different government policies. The policies that were introduced by the government of both the countries to tackle the situation in the two countries were different. This difference in economic crisis was just because of the policies. Now, many economists, they believe that the reason for the worst impact of famine in China was the policies of the government, right? India is a democratic country, we all know. And here in India, we have multi-party system. But China is a non-democratic country, or you can say China is a communist country where they have single party rule. The policies to tackle this famine it was not that effective or problem solving in China. If China did not have multi-party system, media to criticize the government, opposition party to have a check on the government's work. So this was the reason why the crisis of China was worst. Okay, the economic condition of China was worse than India. Now, let's move further. Democracy is better than any other forms of government in responding to the needs of the people. In a non-democratic government, a ruler may or may not respond to the people's need. It all depends on the ruler. So, our first argument for democracy is a democratic government is better government because it is more accountable. Okay, it is more accountable form of government. What is the meaning of accountable? Answerable to the people. Any laws, any rules, any policies that the government introduces, they are answerable to the people if it doesn't work. Okay, so this was our first argument for democracy. Now let's move further. The another reason why democracy is better than any other non-democratic government is better decision making that is in democratic government, in a democracy. Okay, democracy is based on consultations and also on discussions. A lot of consultations are carried out before coming to any conclusion, before passing any policies, before introducing any laws. Lot of consultation, discussion, debates are carried out. When this happens in democracy, when this consultation, discussion, debates are taking place in democracy, many people are involved. It is not between the two people or one party. All the people, all the members of the party are also involved. So many people are involved in decision making. Lots of debates, discussions and meetings are carried out before finalizing things. Am I right? Now, when many people, they put their heads, that is, they express their feelings or share their views, their thoughts, it becomes possible to point out any mistake in decision making. It becomes easier to point out the mistakes. But of course, it is a long process. It takes time because all are involved. Many people are involved. Their opinions are taken. Debates are conducted. So this whole process takes time. But there is a big advantage. Yes, before taking any important decision, mistakes can be pointed out, they can be seen and rectified. This reduces the chances of rash and irresponsible decision. So children, our second argument for democracy is democracy improves the quality of decision making. Okay, this is our second argument for democracy. Moving further, let's move further. People have different opinions. Different people, different opinions or interest. All people are not same. You have different thinking, I have different thinking, you have different interest. My interests will be different, your opinions are different, my opinions are different. They have different thinking. They are born to have differences. This we can see particularly more in our country, India. This is because of the social diversity in our country. We have people belonging to different religion, caste, speaking different languages. They look at the world in a different way. They have different preferences. There can be clash between groups, between two groups or more than two groups, because their interests are different. Their thinking is different. Preference of one group may clash with other group. Right now, preference of one group may clash with other group. This clash in group will affect the unity of the country, which is not good for any country. Not only unity of the country, the peace of the country. This conflict, these clashes can be solved by brutal power. Forcefully they can stop the people. That is, more powerful groups will be, they will dictate the terms, its terms. And the other group will have to accept that. If the clashes are solved this way, there will be resentment. People will be unhappy. Finally, people may not be able to live together for a long time. Here, democratic form of government provides solution. In a democracy, no one is a permanent winner nor a permanent loser. All can live together peacefully and happily, especially in a diverse country like ours. So our third argument for democracy is, democracy provides a method to deal with differences and conflicts. This was our third argument for democracy. Moving further, see your children, all three arguments were about the effects of democracy on the quality of government and social life, right? But the strongest argument is not about what democracy does to the government, but it is about what democracy does to its citizen, to its people. It is said, even if democracy does not bring better decision or is not accountable to people, it is still better than other forms of government. Okay, it is still better than other forms of government. So, here we see that democracy enhances the dignity of citizens. In a democracy, poorest and the least are same. You can say the poorest and the least educated has the same status as the rich and the poor. They have the same status. Okay, people are the rulers themselves. Let's move further. Children, just now we saw that mistakes in the democracy can be rectified. Am I right? No. Democracy cannot guarantee about mistakes. Yes, mistakes can happen, take place in democracy too. In fact, no form of government can guarantee that. But in democracy, even mistake happens. There is an advantage in democracy that these mistakes cannot be hidden for a long time. There is a space for the public discussions, or these mistakes, they can be rectified or it can be corrected. Okay, there is a space to correct the mistakes. Either the ruler have to be changed, or the decisions that are taken by the ruler have to be changed. This cannot happen in a non-democratic country. So, our final argument for democracy is better than any other forms of government because it allows us to correct our mistakes. Okay, this was the final argument about democracy. So, my dear children, this shows democracy is clearly better than any other alternative. See, children, democracy cannot get us everything. It cannot give us everything. When I say democracy is better, it cannot give us everything. It is not solution for all the problems that the citizens, the people are facing or will be facing. But it offers better chances of making good decision. It respects people's own wishes and allow people from different background to stay together. There is also a way of correcting mistakes. That is why democracy is considered the best form of government. My dear children, we saw some arguments that were for democracy. I'll stop over here. We will meet in the next class with the same lesson. Until then, bye and thank you.